every Floki trader needs to see this, because Floki could be about to rally by 200%, and there are two reasons why this could happen, so make sure to watch this video until the end. Now, before we get into the price analysis, just remember that this is not financial advice. Always do your own research and make your own decisions. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Floki versus the US dollar on the weekly. And Floki is currently sitting at 3011.8. So if we see a rally back up to the all-time highs, this would be approximately a 200% move. But before that happens, Floki needs to be able to rally above these levels of resistance. We actually have a couple of them right here. So let's begin with this long-term trend line, which Floki is currently trading below of. And as you can see right here, this trend line was tested and we got some rejection, but naturally the price will keep testing this area to eventually either move lower or just rally above it. And so far we're still testing this resistance trend line. I believe once we are able to establish support above it, we have a really high chance of retracing back to the all-time highs. Now, that's not the only level of resistance we need to pay attention to. We have the 50 moving average, which is our line in blue, and this is also now serving as an area of resistance because, well, the price has been trading below for some time. Therefore, we tend to see some rejection once the price is trying to go back up. So this is the second area of resistance. In addition to that, we have what's called a falling wedge formation of some sort, where we basically see lower highs and also lower lows. This is usually a bullish pattern, meaning that we end up breaking to the upside in most cases. And as of recording this video, Floki is currently testing these three levels of resistance that are converging here. Now, even though a 200% move to the upside would be massive, I am sure most of you also wonder how high could Floki go this altcoin season. And if you want to know my personal take on that, just make sure to subscribe to the channel right now and allow all notifications, because I will be uploading a video later regarding this. Now guys, the chart that I am about to show you, I believe is even more important than Floki's chart is. But before I do that, if you're looking to trade Floki and you do not know where, check my affiliate link in the description below this video. I am currently trading Floki on GMX, which has low fees and an excellent user interface. Now, if you do decide to trade on GMX, which also has other options like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many other altcoins, you will get a 5% discount on trading fees if you use my affiliate, and I will get a small commission for that as well, which helps support the channel. Now let's get into what I believe is the most important part of this video. We're gonna be going over the Bitcoin dominance and how this will affect the price of Floki. So you probably have been hearing that we're gonna have a huge altcoin season, and yes, that is exactly what I believe. What we're looking at is the Bitcoin dominance, which compares Bitcoin versus the altcoins. Right now, the dominance is sitting at approximately 61%, and that means that 61% of the market is pretty much Bitcoin. So 61% of all the money that is in the crypto market is currently in Bitcoin, whereas the other 39% is in altcoins. So when this chart goes up, Bitcoin tends to outperform the altcoins by a lot, and that is what we have seen over the past few years. So when does altcoin season start? Altcoin season starts once the dominance begins to go down, right? So far we have a structure over here of higher highs and higher lows. This is an uptrend by definition. Once we get a reversal of this trend, the dominance to start heading downwards, and that oftentimes happens a lot quicker, right? And this is not just for the Bitcoin dominance. In general, asset prices tend to move upwards in a slower fashion, and then when it's time to fall, they fall really fast. So I'm expecting to see something similar to what we saw the last cycle, where the Bitcoin dominance fell really sharply, really fast. Now, are we there yet? And this is where you guys need to pay attention closely, because right now the Bitcoin dominance is testing the 50 moving average on the weekly, which is once again my blue line. And this is nothing special, it's not a magic indicator, it only shows us the current direction, which of course is up. That is unless we dip and stay below the 50 moving average, in which case I would expect the dominance to begin a new downtrend, and I would expect altcoins to rise wildly. And if you guys take a look here, if I measure from the time that the Bitcoin dominance crossed above the 50 moving average until where we are now, that is approximately 931 days. And so throughout this entire uptrend, what we've had is a Bitcoin season. Then once that trend changes and becomes a downtrend, we get the altcoin season. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this over on the daily. And this is what I'm seeing, guys. I believe the dominance could actually be flipping anytime soon. For example, here we see that the dominance went below all the moving averages, including the 200 moving average. However, that went back up really quick, and we barely saw any rejection below the 200 moving average, which is my purple line. Again, this only outlines price direction over a larger time frame. But take a look at this. Right now, over on the daily, we have been rejected by the 200 moving average not once but twice. And initially I thought this was turning out to be a double bottom, in which case we would have broken above the neckline and moved higher. However, that hasn't been the case so far. Then this was looking like a potential inverse head and shoulders, which could still technically play out since we have not gone below the head. However, the more I look at this, the more it is starting to resemble a bear flag, which is a pattern that points towards continuation, this case to the downside. Here, if we move down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see what I'm talking about. And as of right now, it actually looks like we are breaking the support trend line. So guys, this is really important, because from here on we could either bounce, right, get out of this consolidation range and continue the uptrend, or this could become a pivot point, in which case we actually move lower and break below the previous low. And if that were to happen, I believe this is the beginning of altcoin season. So if you're holding Floki and you're also holding other altcoins, you will definitely want to keep a close eye on this. Once we start going down, what I expect to see is a move towards this previous lows of approximately 38%, at which point I will likely have sold most of my altcoins, because then we could enter a consolidation phase like this one, to then rally back up as we enter a new Bitcoin season and potentially a bear market. Now, if you like what you saw in today's video, if you think you got some value out of it, then make sure to subscribe and allow all notifications so that you don't miss the next update, and I'll see you guys in the next video.